Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Tom Broadbent Lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have a special guest for you this evening? The number 10 shirt in football is iconic. Messi, Rooney, Bergkamp, and Pele, they've got nothing on this lad. This evening's guest made the loan switch to SM1 this summer, and he's certainly made an impactful start to the season. 6 games, 5 goals, 4 assists. This man has been instrumental in the swashbuckling, goal-frenzied start to the season for Swindon Town. We reminded ourselves a couple of weeks back, don't fall in love with loan players. Well, once again, we're probably in trouble, aren't we? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce this evening's guest, making his lounge debut, Swindon Town's midfield magician, Mr. Dan Kemp. Dan, thank you for coming on, mate. How you doing?
I'm all good, thank you, mate. Good evening, first and foremost, everyone. Thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for your kind words there, mate. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
mate, it is our absolute pleasure. Before we get into some questions, I'll quickly introduce you to our panel this evening. So, I've got 2 co-hosts with me. I've got my regulars, Chris, meet Dan, Dan, meet Chris.
Evening, Dan.
Evening, mate.
Yeah.
Happy days. Ellis, meet Dan, Dan, meet Ellis.
Evening, Dan. How are you?
Evening, mate. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Wonderful stuff. We've got Rockin' Robin in disguise. Malcolm, how's it going, buddy?
Evening, everyone. Evening, Dan.
Evening, Malcolm.
Moving along, Daz Smith. Daz, how's it going, pal?
It's going very well. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
And last but by no means least, we've got another debut tonight, Charlie. Charlie, how you doing, pal?
Evening, doing good. How are we doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well. Let's have a quick. We've got Dan for 30 minutes. We won't keep you much longer than that, mate. Just a quick, brief discussion about the weekend's game. So, obviously, Sutton on the county ground, 5-3 win, and a man of the match performance from yourself. Was that an enjoyable Saturday, apart from the heat, of course?
Yeah, no, definitely an enjoyable weekend, first and foremost. Any weekend we get 3 points is a enjoyable one for myself. So that was the best thing, first and foremost. I think a really entertaining game, obviously. Really difficult conditions, so hot. Definitely the hottest I've ever played in.
I was going to say that must have been up there with any of the hottest games you played in.
Oh no, definitely. I've never had anything like that really. I mean, Donny was quite warm the week before, but that game on Saturday was ridiculously hot. So credit to all the boys for the performance they put in conditions like that. It wasn't easy for either team, but obviously we're delighted with the win, and I thought the performance was excellent. So loads of things to work on still, but loads and loads of positives.
I mean, you said there it was an entertaining game. Now, you boys don't do games that aren't entertaining, do you? I mean, it's kind of what you're getting sort of a name for in this league. When obviously you were moving to the club in the summer, how excited were you by the project that the gaffer put forward? Was the attacking football and sort of what is being displayed at the minute, was that a big part of your decision to come over to Swindon?
Yeah, no, I think definitely. We've definitely had some really entertaining games so far. I think the way we play is so attractive for an attacking player like myself. And I've always, when I've come up against Swindon teams, I thought they've always had a really great brand of football, and I've loved the games I've ever played here, like against Swindon, against at the county ground. So the atmosphere has always been excellent, and I think from just the really positive chat I had with the manager, it was sold to me really as the club, the way he wants to play, the way I was so wanted by him, and I think that was just the main attraction, really being able to show what I can do, and having a manager and a team that's going to suit me to my game and what I can bring.
So, I mean, obviously we've read an article in the Swindon Advertiser this week about sort of how the move came about for yourself in the summer. We spoke there, obviously, chatting to the gaffer. How did you sort of come about to hearing the interest from Swindon? Was it early on in the summer? How long did it sort of linger around? And it got to a point, really, didn't it, where you had to push it through yourself?
Yeah, no, I think I heard about the interest early towards the window, and then obviously speaking to my agent and stuff, it became more apparent, and there was really serious interest from Swindon, and that was really something that I really wanted to get done as soon as possible because I knew it was what a great fit it would be for me. Um, and then yeah, it got towards the later stages of the window, and when I knew that I spoke to the manager after I got the like all clear from MK to finally be allowed to join, which was great for me. And I spoke to the gaffer straight after that, and it was just about like right, let's get down and get going. So yeah, it got to a stage where um, it was just for me. I really wanted to come here and play, and I had to make it clear that that was what I wanted, really.
Hmm. Did you know anyone at the club beforehand? I'm trying to look at the team list. Were there any crossovers that you've played with before? I mean, Tariq Uwakwe, was he at Chelsea at the time that you were there?
Yeah, so Tariq and George,
Oh, of course, George, yeah.
I played loads of academy football with them at Chelsea, so I know them two really well. Um, and then a few of the lads I've played against over the years, so like Rashi, I played against when he was at Aston Villa, and I know of like Tom Brewitt from Liverpool and stuff.
Hmm.
So I know quite a few of the lads like from playing against them, but Tariq and George were have always been like good mates of mine growing up through the academy. So it's really nice to play with them again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, did you chat to George before making the decision? Did he have much to say about the football club?
No, I didn't speak to him beforehand. He was quite excited to see me when I turned up. That was one of the first people I saw. So no, I didn't chat to him about joining before because I didn't really need to. Really, I think he didn't need to sell the club to me. I know what a big club it is, and obviously I knew of the manager and played against these teams. And then when I was speaking to him on the phone, my decision was made up. Really.
Oh, mate, that is the most perfect answer you could come out with. Um, so, I mean, we saw a stat this week that it did the rounds of socials. Only 5 teams in the last 20 years have scored 20 plus goals in the first 6 league games. So you got Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, and now Swindon Town. Just how much fun is it to play in this team at the minute?
Yeah, no, I think we're all loving it, especially us attacking players. I didn't know that stat that you've just so that's we're not in bad company. I mean, we can't get carried away. Obviously, it's still so early on in the season. Still a long way to go, but we're definitely, as I said earlier, there's definitely so many positives that we can take from these first lot of games, and scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in football. So to do it in the amount that we have is it's only got to be a positive.
Absolutely. I mean, it's impressive. I think from the first few games, you've probably increased season ticket sales by, a fairly reasonable percentage because the football you boys put on offer on the pitch is it's money worthy, really. Um, Sort of moving on a little bit to a bit of a retro Soccer AM callback. Spoke to you earlier on about doing some quick fire questions. Kind of want to keep, I guess, the time on the show a little bit less interviewing, a bit more sort of light-hearted and fun. Um, I've got quite a few questions from supporters, like an absolute boatload have come in. I mean, you're already a town favourite. Let's face it. Um, so these questions are coming from supporters, but there's also a couple in there from people that you will be familiar with as well. Um, so there's a couple of questions from people that you might be having words with them tomorrow morning.
Okay,
Okay.
that's an interesting one.
So we'll start off. Tell us an interesting fact about yourself. Starting the
Uh,
deep end.
an intro, yeah, and it's quick fire. Mate, I don't know. An interesting fact about myself. But actually, I haven't got one. I'm not that interesting.
Well, we can come back to that one
Come back
maybe.
to me. I'll think. Yeah, come back to that
Okay.
one.
So this question's coming from Jake from Bradford. Um, he's asked, why don't you put a duvet cover on your duvet?
That's a stitch up, and that was only once.
Oh, okay.
So I can assure everyone that I do that every time I make the bed. This was once that I did not put it on.
Your own words after this, aren't you?
Yeah, he's getting it after this.
Okay, next one. You're on a 3-on-1 break with Jake to your left and Charlie to your right. Who you can pass to?
Oh, that is a tough one. Whoever's I'm on 3-on-1
Yeah,
break.
you're in the middle. You've got the defender in front of you. They're both free and they're both onside.
I'll sit on the fence and say I'll play to each of them once,
Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, we're,
and then
we're,
the
we're
next time,
scoring 5 or 6 every game, so
uh,
you'll have 2 opportunities, I'm sure.
yeah, and then the next time I'll go myself.
Good answer. I like it. This one is from Chris. He asks, Vindaloo, Madras, or Korma?
Uh, Definitely not a Vindaloo. Madras for me.
It's better than Jake's answer. Jake went Korma, and it got a bad reaction. I'm not
Ah,
gonna
yeah, yeah. You can't have a call, can you?
lie. Okay, double-ended question here. Which teammate tells the best jokes, and which teammate tells the worst?
Best jokes, best stories is definitely Charlie Austin.
Yeah, I can see that.
What a guy, so funny. Worst jokes, it's probably a toss-up between Jake Young and George McEachran. They're both terrible.
Well, we'll move on to George McEachran in a bit. Next one, who has the strangest superstition at Swindon? And do you have any superstitions? Have you got any pre-match
Strangest.
rituals you go through?
Yeah, I've got a few. Not nothing too strange. To be fair, I haven't really seen any mental ones. That I've like picked up and gone, oh, that's a bit strange. I've just got a few I always put my left boot on before my right. Um, and that the same like pre-match routine, and like I'll eat the same foods the night before, and like a nice bath the day before a game and things like that. But no real mad ones. I used to have one. I don't have it as much anymore, but I used to have one where I had to be the last one out of the dressing room.
Okay.
But me and some other boy that I played with at Orient had it, and we'd just be waiting to see which one of us would like fold and go out second to last. So I had to get rid of that one because it would have just kept. I would have missed the game
Just go
probably.
out holding hands.
Yeah, yeah, and or like one of us would nip back to the toilet last minute just to make sure we were the last one out, and it was just getting a joke towards the end. So
Oh,
I've stopped that one now.
cheeky. Here's a random one. Favorite onto the pitch music. You know, when you come out of a tunnel and you've got music playing. Have you got any ones in your sort of head that sticks out? Any grounds that you think, oh,
Um,
I'm up for this?
Yeah, I've had a few times comes on quite a lot. It's like Kanye West, All of the Lights.
Yes, yeah.
That comes on quite a few of the grounds, and that's always a good one when that comes on. Yeah, that'll probably be my pick.
I mean, music for getting in the mood and like getting up for a game is probably quite bigger than a lot of people think, I guess. I mean, the tunes in the changing rooms, are they banging? Who's putting on the tunes? I can see someone like a Sads or like maybe a Fraser being DJ.
Yeah, no, I think there's a few. I definitely think music's a big part for most players, I'd say.
Hmm.
I like to listen to my own stuff, but that's just personal preference. I think on the DJ. I think the DJ at games is probably sad. Some games it has been Tom Brewitt
Okay,
sometimes. Uh, yeah, there's a few of them. Fraser sometimes jumps on. So there's a few lads that like to go on it, and they've all been quite good to be fair.
lovely stuff. I mean, we spoke about Fraser there. We've got a question here from A Fraser in Swindon. He asked, "Is George McEachran a little man or a wee man?"
Um, he calls me him and his brother Josh. They both call me Wee Man. It's just a joke that they're stuck. So I call him Little Man.
Okay, because the next one
Yeah.
was then, is Dan a wee man or a little man?
Yeah, I'd have to say Wee Man because that's what he calls me.
um, cheers for that, Fraser. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Next up, who's the smartest dressed at Swindon?
Oh, as in like smart or like best?
We'll go both. I mean, smart. I can see Chaz scrubbing up. Um,
Yeah, Chaz is really smart. He's got some comes into training in some nice smart. Look, it's quite casual, but he just looks
hmm.
smart. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the
Um,
aura.
yeah, he probably is. He probably is, to be fair. Do you know what? Tariq Irakwi has got some nice gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he does have quite a good, like, he has a go in the morning, like, he likes to look well. But he has got some nice gear, to be fair to him.
Okay, we'll take that. Tariq and Chaz. Chaz?
Yep.
Other end of the scale now. Who's the scruffiest?
Scruffiest.
Yeah.
I'd say sometimes I can be really scruffy,
Yeah.
but it's not out of like, I think I could just be a bit more presentable some mornings. It takes me a while to wake up some mornings, that's why. Who else is scruffy? A little bit scruffy.
Throw young under the bus. He's done it to you.
He's not scruffy though. I'd be telling a lie. I'll go. He's not gonna like me, but Tom Brewitt. But he just goes in like a lot of the time. He's in like gym gear, so it could be seen as scruffy, but it's just probably that's just what he decides to wear in the
He
morning.
doesn't need the clobber, does he? Old Brewitt. He's a
No,
good looking lad, but we'll
no,
allow it.
exactly.
Can you name the super fan that you get your picture taken with every single week?
Oh, you can't do that to me.
I don't know.
Is it? She's a lovely little girl. Kelsey, is it
That
Kelsey?
is very close. It's Casey.
That's the one.
That's
But she's lovely. She comes up to me every single game, and she's got my shirt on now.
oh.
And I think she wants to walk out with me in a few weeks. So I really look forward to that.
Well, we are the Casey Poole Appreciation Lounge. She is an absolute diamond of a girl. So I'm sure she'd absolutely buzz for that down.
Yeah, no, I've promised her, so I can't wait for her to walk out with me. That'll be lovely for both of us.
Oh, bless. Moving along, favourite ground you've ever played at?
Ooh. When I was alone at Blackpool, I played in like a behind closed doors game at Liverpool, but it was against their full team in pre-season. That was an amazing experience to play there. Amazing, really, sort of unbelievable ground. So I'd probably say that. And then atmosphere-wise, I always like, for some reason, I don't know why, I like playing at Plymouth's ground when it's bouncing and there's a good atmosphere there.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that atmosphere. So yeah.
I think Plymouth's one of those ones, isn't it? Like it's such a big catchment area for a football club. It's almost quite like similar to Swindon. Like Swindon are the only football league club in Wiltshire, whereas you go out to Devon, there's not much around other than Plymouth and Exeter. So like they do put in some really good crowds. To be fair to them.
No, definitely.
Okay, opposite again. Worst ground you've ever played at, and can it be Oxford? Very, very, very please.
I've never played at Oxford, so I couldn't say if it was. I've been on the bench there, but never come on. Probably the worst ground, just because of how far it is, and you just feel knackered by the time you got there. Probably Barrow.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, Carlisle's a really long way, but when there's a good atmosphere, it's actually like it's a good ground to play at, you know.
I think.
But Barrow just is such a far away, and it's just miles away.
I think as well, like from Swindon Town's experience at Barrow, whenever we go there, it's absolutely pissing down. So like it's dark, it's wet, it's cold. You've travelled like bloody 8 hours to get up there. It's not a Saturday to remember, really.
You normally get them on a Tuesday or something as well, didn't you? So the weather's just even like it's freezing cold or something like that in February.
Yeah, it's not the one. It's ones you say for May or like you have a first thing, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Little interjection here. I mean, obviously we had Youngie on a couple of weeks ago. Have you heard about the poem that he was serenaded with?
Yeah, he did tell me about it. Did
he tell you how uncomfortable it made him feel?
No, he didn't say that. He just said it was an interesting experience.
It made me very uncomfortable, and I was sat in my chair squirming. So I thought it would only be fair to sort of allow you to have the same amount of love from my co-host Ellis.
Oh, okay, brilliant. I look forward to
Oh,
it.
you said that through gritted teeth.
Shit. Oh no.
Ellis, mate, the floor is
Right.
yours.
Oh, thanks so much, Joe. Right, Dan. I'm sorry to have to do this to you. I, like Joe said, I wrote one for Jake the other week, and yeah, I mean, awkward is probably how you would describe it. So I said the exact same to Jake. If you want to get a restraining order, I understand. Um, but yeah, I wrote this earlier. So yeah, I promise I'm not a weirdo. I have a job, and I don't just write Swindon Town poems in my spare time. Okay, here it goes. 2 secs.
Don't be
In
nervous,
Swindon,
mate.
yeah, I know. I'm bloody. I I don't know why I keep doing that. I keep writing them, and then I regret it every moment I go to read them. But here we go. In Swindon's field, where dreams take flight, Dan Kemp weaves magic with pure delight. With each precise pass, he finds Jake Young, their partnership strong, like a song unsung. Assists aplenty, like stars in the night sky. For Swindon Town, they aim so high. Dan Kemp, the maestro on the football stage, guiding his team with wisdom and sage. There you go.
Mate,
Yeah.
that was brilliant.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was
Was that good as Youngie's, or was mine better?
oh
I think that was better, to be
yeah.
fair. I mean, both were absolutely
You
horrendous to
reckon?
sit through, but
I know.
No,
my missus is sitting next to me, and I think she wants to get on the plane back from Mallorca back to England right this second. But
no,
um,
mate. I thought that was brilliant. Thank you. I appreciate it.
best thing about that,
you're
all of that,
you're
the best thing
welcome.
about all of that, Ellis is sat on holiday with his missus. He's probably been on the beers for about 8 hours, and he's just sat, just serenading Dan Kemp with a poem.
It's not right. I think something needs to be done about this.
That is a committed fan, I'll tell you.
There
I'm
you go.
not sure if Ellis's poetry corner is going to stick around for much longer.
No, I
I think
mean,
it should. I think it should continue. I think it's good, mate.
Christ. Anyway,
I,
let's.
I only bring it out. I only bring it out for the big players. So,
Okay,
Okay.
mate, you're going to start
count yourself
upsetting
lucky.
people when they don't get a poem now.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, sorry, everyone.
Right, let's move on swiftly, shall we? Because that was.
Yeah, yes,
I've got
please.
butterflies, not a good kind either.
I'm sweating.
Have a beer.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Right, Dan, this next question's from Lily. She's asked, what's your favourite moment in Swindon shirt been?
Oh,
Or we can go favourite
I
goal. It's
think.
not been long, obviously. We can go favourite goal if you want.
Yeah, to be fair, because I was going to say I've had been really fortunate. I've had quite a few good moments so far. I think either I pick two because they were my favourite for a different reason. Probably my first goal against Wrexham. That I thought it was a good goal, and then that feeling where I celebrated in front of the away fans was really, really special. And then probably my my first goal at the county ground. That was a really, really nice feeling. Obviously, I know how much the fans have been behind me and how much that they've took to me. So to score in front of the Swindon fans for the first time was an amazing feeling, and I really, really enjoyed that goal. And there was loads of my friends and friends and family, and my close family around me that day. So I celebrated in front of them. So that was a nice feeling, also.
Just Dan, if I can just butt in here as well, what was it like playing in that Wrexham game?
Oh, to be honest, it was such a special game, but it was just a game of two halves. You know, the first half was unbelievable. I was like, we're going to score every time we attack here, and it was an unbelievable atmosphere. Like even as much as it was disappointing to come away with a point, the atmosphere in the second half when they were getting behind them, you know, when they scored the goals, obviously really frustrating to concede, but it was just a great game to be a part of. Like, just so exciting to have an atmosphere like that, obviously. And then when I scored my second goal, it was like I thought that was it, like a great win. And then obviously they came back to score two goals in quick succession. Like But just a mental game. I'm not sure I'll ever play anything like that again.
How does it feel that you retired Ben Foster?
I'm not sure about that.
Mate, listen to his podcast today. He says it. Swindon Town retired him.
Yeah, I know, but obviously, first and foremost, like what a career he had. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like unbelievable goalkeeper. Like I think it takes a lot of respect to him to call it on. I think to call it on your own terms is a very privileged position. You know, the career he's had is testament to himself, and credit to him. He felt like he was. Yeah, I'm not sure he was, but in his words, he thought he was letting the team down, so he made that decision. But I've had a few people say that to me, but that's definitely not the case. I don't think.
All jokes aside, I just say as well. I mean, Ben Foster, fantastic career. But Swindon Town did retire him, so we've always got that.
I'll let you fans have that one. You guys can have that
Mate, we're
one.
taking it. We're having it. We've got a question from Alan. He asks, "What's the weirdest nickname given to a teammate in the town dressing room?"
This is a funny one, but he won't mind me saying. So the manager calls Ben Ward Lego Head. So that's probably a really funny one that he just calls him Lego Head because of the way he's because of his head shape. So he probably won't enjoy that one, but it makes the lads laugh when the gaffer says that to him in training or something.
I mean, to be fair, like to have that sort of relationship with the gaffer, that's quite. I know it's obviously it's taking a piss a little bit and it's jovial and stuff, but it's a nice place to be in when you know the gaffer can have a bit of a laugh at the joke with the boys, isn't it?
Well, that's just the manager, and like obviously he's got that side to him that's so good. You know, he's so down to earth, and he gets on with everyone. His man management's probably one, if not the best I've ever worked with. Just the way he makes the whole group feel. But at the same time, of course, he's got that serious side and that professional side on match day and when in training when we're going through important stuff. So just in general, he's just special, really. So yeah, no, just in general how good he is.
Shut up, Ellis.
How good he is in that aspect is just incredible, really. Just so down to earth as a manager. All the lads get on with him, and in the team, out the team, you know where you stand with him. So it's just that's one of the great things about the group in general. We're just all down to earth and pushing in the same direction.
Well, I mean, from the outside in, you boys seem like you're a really tight-knit group. I think it's something that town fans have been really quick to sort of cotton onto. And if it translates on the pitch the way it is, like you boys keep doing you, like end of the day. Next question. So we asked this question of, I think it was Rush last year. We asked him who's the worst driver in the dressing room, and he was saying that I think it was him, Romeo Hutton, Jake Wakely, and Tyree Shade all share a sort of a car. Well, they shared a car last year from Birmingham to training, and I believe it was Romeo Hutton, and apparently it was quite the awful place to be.
Thankfully, I've never been in Huts' car, but after hearing that information, that will be the case for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'd stay away.
I'm staying way away from his car now that I know that. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone that's having any dents or dents in their car recently, so I can't really comment. I know I'm throwing him on the bus here, but I know George has had a few. So I'll probably just go for George just so I can throw him on the bus.
Well, he's
again.
not alone. I've had my car for like 2 months and I've had 2 dings already on it. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
it's good. Yeah, it happens. It happens. As long as no one's seriously injured, obviously.
That's it. Yeah, of course. Just look at the time, mate. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. Best player you've played alongside. I think you've got a bit of a list, haven't you?
Yeah, no. I get asked this question a lot, and it's hard for me to pick between 2. So I always really say the same 2, just because it was really like I enjoyed my time playing alongside them both, and I played in midfield with them. So growing up, just Mason Mount and Declan Rice really. I played as like the higher one of the midfield 3, and them 2 were behind me. So it was a really enjoyable midfield, and them two are definitely the best I've played with.
If someone would have told you back then that Mason Mount and Declan Rice would have sold to Arsenal and Man United for like £165 million, I mean, would you have believed it? Like, were they that good at the time?
I think they always stood out, but there was obviously a lot of top players at Chelsea at the time. I think their mentality is what separates them from others as well. I think the way they commit to every game, the way they live off the pitch, the way they do everything possible to perform on a match day. I think that's something that I've obviously learnt from them, and we're quite similar in that aspect. So I think that's why we got on so well over the years and stuff. But would I've predicted that they've gone for that much money? Both of them, no. But would I've predicted that they'd both be top players? Definitely, because the signs were there from when we were 13, 14 years of age, younger, all the way up to just. I think you can always tell a good player when you see one, and both of them are definitely that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work with a lad called Matt Hood who played at Chelsea, and
Yeah.
he was banging on about Declan Rice making the bench for West Ham. I think it was 2018. I was working with him, and he was just talking me
Yeah.
through like Declan in the academy at Chelsea. He was just absolutely unreal, and he said like you as well, like it's the mentality is the biggest thing, and he was like Declan Rice's mentality was just always head down, work hard.
Yeah, definitely. And nothing, even now, obviously I'm still really close with both of them, but he's just nothing really phases him, just he's the same as when he was so much younger, just like really, really calm, really composed, and just steps into everything he does with confidence and just trusting himself. So it's a testament to both of them how their mentality helps definitely to get them where they are.
Absolutely. So last question for you. Who's the most trouble on a night out in Swindon?
Well, we haven't had a night out yet. Normally there's one around like the Christmas time, like the Christmas do. So hold fire on that question, and I'll be able to let you know close to the time. But I honestly couldn't tell you because obviously I've only just joined the club, so I'm yet to know. But that one would be like TBC.
Oh, mate, we've got to get videos of the night out. The Christmas do's are pretty special at Swindon. I think the year we
Yeah,
went
I can
up,
imagine. I can.
mate, the year we went up under Richie Wellens, I think Jerry Yates sort of had a rolling Instagram story of the Christmas night out in Dublin, and it looked unreal.
What a guy he is. I played for him in Blackpool. Great guy. So I can imagine that was great viewing.
Shout out to Jerry Yates. Shout out to Jerry Yates.
Yeah,
Dan, just
definitely.
looking at the time, mate, I don't want to keep you too much longer. Thank you very, very much for coming on this evening. I hope that was all right for you.
No, thank you so much, mate. It was really good fun, and I really appreciate all the support, not just from you guys, but from all the Swindon fans so far. And I'm really looking forward to the next few games and hopefully having a really successful season.
Absolutely, mate. Well, we will hopefully talk to you again at some point throughout the season. If we do not, then we wish you nothing but the best. Let's get up, shall we?
Yeah, definitely, mate. This all will have a right go, and you never know. We keep going the way we are. We won't be too far off at all, mate. So let's just keep going. And thank you again for having me on and all your support. It's really appreciated.
Absolute ledge. Thank you very much, Mr. Dan Kemp.
Cheers, Dan. Sorry for having to sit through my poem. I thought I need to apologise again.
No, no problem,
cringing.
mate. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
What a ledge. I mean, Ellis, we'll
Cheers.
start off with you then, mate. Have you recovered from your embarrassment?
No, not at all. I'm still getting over the fact that I read Jake Young a poem, so I've added another one on top of that. So yeah,
Mate, we're gonna have to start paying for some sort of therapy for you, I think, after this.
yeah, I know. It's not great, but do you know what? I've got no one else to blame because I'm the person that's sat on a sunbed writing a poem about a Swindon Town player. So, I mean, yeah, can't blame no one else but myself.
Mate, I love the dedication. Carly, I've just seen your face pop up throughout the show. Carly, welcome to the lounge once again.
Hi, evening. Sorry I was a bit
That's
late.
all right, no worries. Did you catch any of the Dan Kemp bits? And also, did you catch the Ellis whatever it's called?
I did. I think I might have missed the very, very first bit, but I've listened to all of it. What a great lad, bless him. He's amazing. And yeah, Ellis, you just get better and better, mate.
Carly, to be honest, I thought you were talking about me in that first bit. I thought you were calling me amazing. Thanks for that
Rewind,
anyway.
rewind. I was.
We all think you're amazing until about 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, mate.
Yeah. What about Dan, Carly?
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to really focus on him saying that Mike Flynn's one of the best he's been under for bringing the dressing room together. Like, how lovely is that to hear? How great is that for us to hear? There really there really does seem to be unity at the moment. You can see it, can't
I
you?
think the main draw
I'm,
is that as
I'm,
well. The fact that he said himself there that he pushed a move towards Swindon in the summer. This was the place he wanted to be. He didn't have to chat to people that he
Yeah,
already knew at the football club because he knew what a big club it was. He had his mindset after
yeah.
one call with the manager, and he ended it by saying that he hopes he has a really good season personally at Swindon. So it's like there's nuggets in there, and I think those nuggets provide a little bit of hope.
It really does. I just, I'm trying to think of a time when, again, I keep saying this every time. I'm trying to think of a time when we have felt like this before, where we have players of the quality that he's got saying that they want to come and play here. It's just so great to hear. He seemed very genuine to me. He's got no reason to not tell the truth. So, it's just wonderful. It really is a great thing. Long may it continue.
Absolutely. I think, do you know what? I remember a conversation that I had with a Mr. Ryan Whelan in the summer. I got a text from Ryan sort of discussing the Dan Kemp signing. And I'll admit, I genuinely I didn't know much about him. Obviously, I've seen him banging in goals for Hartlepool last year. I
Yeah, I was the
I
same.
asked Ryan what is he like, and he was like, "Mate, you've got no idea. Like he is by far and away the best player in League Two, in his own words."
My God.
Genuinely, I've been blown away by him, and I think the sort of front three of well, I say front three, they're not actually a front three, but the attacking trio of Dan Kemp, Charlie Austin, and Jake Young, it just makes you drool in League Two.
It does. It really does. Also, as well, you saying about the Hartlepool thing, it was the Jeff Stelling tweet as well, wasn't it? Did you see
Yeah, I
that?
did.
Again, like we've got people like that mentioning Swindon Town.
We're on the map.
Amazing,
We're on the map
I know. Again,
again. Um,
Well,
Charlie,
I've got that as well. It's my sister lives in Hartlepool, and they go pretty much every week. And when I told them that we were signing Dan Kemp, they were just waxing lyrical, just how much of a magician he was.
I
And well,
find it hard
that's
to
exactly what
believe
we've
that
got.
it's all true, though. I read it. I read Hartlepool fans on the sort of a signing announcement tweet. Hartlepool fans were going off on one about him, and you get that from former clubs of players when they sign. You tend to either get a "ha ha, he's shit, good luck," or you tend to get "best of luck, wish you nothing but the best" from the former clubs, sometimes in the same league. And I think when you see those sort of
mm.
best of luck tweets from former fans, I think it's a good sign, and I saw a lot of them.
It gives you a bit of hope, doesn't it? It makes you think, oh, hang on, we could have something here.
Absolutely. Charlie, I'll bring you back on, mate, obviously on your debut tonight. What were your thoughts on Dan Kemp? I mean, spoke pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, spoke pretty highly. Um, I don't really. It was just interesting to hear what he had to say about Swindon. As you said, one call with the manager. He didn't really have to speak to anyone,
No.
so it has a good feeling
It
about it.
does. I think, as I said, there's nuggets of hope in there as well. People that are fretting about January. January is what it is. It's one of those ones. We know that Youngie and Dan Kemp are both on season-long loans. There are recall options in those loans. I mean, where's your head at going into? I say going into January. We're in September, for God's sake. But I feel like it's sort of on everyone's lips, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, if you think about it, Doyle was the same as Youngie, and see what happened. He went back, and then we signed him again. Obviously, Jake Wakelin got a decent amount of money, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So we might be able to get both of them with that money.
Well, at the end of the day, I think, it's one of those ones. I think if they're still bagging in goals going into January and we're nearing the top or sort of around the promotion places, it kind of forces us to do what we did with Jerry Yates and Owen Doyle, really. Like, you have to get your money out. You have to renegotiate, whether that's a loan deal or a permanent. If it needs to be done for the chance of promotion, it needs to be done.
Yeah, because, if they're doing as well as they are, and it's like the main goal scorers, then you kind of have to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, they're both, top sort of goal scorers in this league, and they're playing for, their parent clubs are promotion rivals in this league. I mean, MK Dons are looking to do fairly well this season, as well as I mean Bradford haven't had the best of starts, but they've got a decent squad. So look, they're not just going to let them sit in this squad for nothing. I can definitely see both teams recalling them, and I'm not saying that they won't let us buy them, but they're definitely going to want some sort of money out of
I
them,
think the
and
only
not just
hope is, Alice, though, like Dan Kemp, he's got 6 months of his deal left of January, and there's no option.
Yeah.
So
So exactly. So even if you do buy them, it's not you're not going to be paying ridiculous amount of money, and if they refuse to sell him, you've got 6 months, and then obviously then you got to hope that you can pick him up in the summer transfer window. But then of course you run the risk of League One, possibly even Championship sides looking at buying him. So yeah, you want to get the checkbook out and sign them as soon as possible, really.
yeah,
See, that's the worry with them as well. Is if they carry on like they've been, when we come to January, League One and Championship clubs are going to be in MK and Bradford's ear saying, "Oh, we want this player," and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we remember what happened the couple of years back in the Ghana season, didn't we? We were decimated in January.
Yeah, I think that does worry me a little bit, but you've just got to hope that the powers that be at the football club just manage to pull a rabbit out of their arse and get them in permanently or sort something out. Because I mean, the way Alice was talking there about, obviously they're both from League Two rivals. It's just real. I've just come to the realization that we're going to play MK Dons and Bradford without Dan Kemp and without Jake Young, which. We've got a squad, and that's what the squad are there for. But I'm not gonna lie, that thought makes my arse want to fall out.
For me, Joe, I think the biggest loss of that would be losing Dan Kemp. Look, Jake Young I'd want him to play every game if I could, but I think the role in which Kemp plays, in terms of not only scoring goals but assisting goals as well, I think we'll see a bigger difference on the pitch without Dan Kemp than Jake Young, because we've got Hepburn Murphy that can come in and look, he scored on Saturday, so he can score goals, and it's not an issue for me having Hepburn Murphy on the pitch over Jake Young. But in terms of Dan Kemp, we're a little bit light in that position, and it's quite hard to replace a player sort of his caliber and his playing style.
Yeah,
I don't think though. Sort of when we go for that, so obviously if Dan got injured, or like I say against MK he can't play, who actually would play there? I know against MK Dons though, it might not be a bad thing if Hepburn Murphy comes in that Young could actually play that position.
yeah. I think you've got Jake Kane
and the
as
other
well,
option
maybe.
there.
Yeah, Jake Kane would be a decent pick,
or even Tyree Shade.
Yeah. I mean, there are options, and also we've got to remember
another position.
that I think the gaffer's made it very clear that the squad isn't done yet. It's not at the level, whether that's numbers or adding quality, that he wants. I think we're likely to see movement this week in terms of incoming, so it's just kind of waiting and seeing what's happening there. I'm conscious of the time, guys. I don't want to stick on the Dan Kemp dwelling of January for too long. I suppose there was another big bit of news this week about Rob Angus's departure from the football club. So I just personally I wanted to say a couple of words on Rob, just from my experience of working or having a working relationship with him. So before we delve into it a little bit with our panel, I've had quite a few dealings with Rob over the last 18 months with the media relationship between the football club and the lounge. Now, I can hand on heart say that Rob Angus is absolutely one of the best people that Swindon Town Football Club have ever had in and around the football club. He's a man that took on a very important role with the football club at a very, very sensitive time. He's overseen the resurrection of the football club from the point of near oblivion to a stage where we were now in a joint venture with the Trust to own our own stadium. I suppose personally, Rob gave me the opportunity to visit Anfield and represent Swindon Town at the Derby MD Foundation Appreciation Evening. It was a really, really special night. I mean, it's one that I will never ever forget, and I'm really, really grateful for him to give me that opportunity. This week, it was announced obviously that Rob is set to leave the club due to personal reasons. Head of Operations Anthony Hall is taking over, and we wish Anthony all the very, very best in his new role as CEO. But I'd just like to take this moment to thank Rob on behalf of the lounge for all that he's done for both us and the football club as a whole. I mean, guys, the sort of dealings that we've had as a group with Rob Angus over the last 18 months, I don't think there's much more you can say than what a man. I mean, Malcolm, you would have had dealings with Rob a lot over his time at the club. Any words from yourself?
Yeah, thoroughly nice bloke. Yeah, really, really nice guy. Always very, very professional. And like I said, he was there. He was there at the moments when, we thought we were going nowhere, and he's with him and Clem have brought the club back together. But yeah, I'll be sad to see him go, but hopefully still see him, around home and away games and everything. I wish him all the best. But yeah, nothing but good words to say about him either.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Rob earlier on. Just wanted to double check with him that if he was all right with me, saying those words tonight. And he replied back saying, "See you in the stands," with a thumbs up. So, look, Rob Angus is going to be no stranger to the county ground. Let that be absolutely sure. He's just going to be in the better seats now, maybe less comfy, but he hasn't got to wear a suit, and also he gets a beer.
Well, the thing is, as well, as though at games, regularly, especially away games, he wasn't in the director's box. He was in with us lads and lasses.
Yeah, I mean, that is just that's Rob Angus in a nutshell. I think he's Swindon Town through and through. But say Anthony Hall, I've met Anthony myself. Really lovely bloke. He knows his onions, very intelligent. So I've got absolutely no doubt in my mind that he'll be fantastic in the role. I know he and Rob worked together very closely for a few months too. So yeah, I mean, we won't dwell on it for too long, but thank you very much, Rob, and we'll wish Anthony all the very best as he moves into the role. So we had a brief chat with Dan about Sutton this weekend, but let's get the panellists' opinion on the 5-3 win over Tim Vine's lads. So a win that leaves us 3 points off top spot with a game in hand and a pretty healthy goal difference. Daz, we haven't spoken to you for a while, mate. You were at the game on Saturday, I believe. What were your thoughts?
I was indeed, yes. I know Flinny says it's not kamikaze football, it's educated football, but my word, it was heart in the mouth at some points, and Dan Kemp's goal, my heart was in my mouth because I thought it's not going to go in. It's not going in. It's going to bounce down and out, and it bounced down and in. Oh, my heart was in my mouth at that point. But yeah, what a game! What a game!
Those words there, you can define Swindon Town's season in 3 words, and it's just what a game. I mean, as a season ticket holder, surely even the first 6 games, I mentioned it earlier on, but bloody hell, you're getting your money's worth at the minute, aren't you?
Oh, without doubt. And I think that, so I was surprised that the crowd was only, 8,000? 8,3, 8,4, something like that?
It's going up, I think, slowly. I think you are.
It is going up,
and
so it should. and so it should. So it should.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like I'm a season ticket holder, but for personal reasons, I've not actually managed to get to a home game yet this season. So someone who's been using my season ticket early season has got value for money.
absolutely. I think everyone's got. I mean, I've only been to a couple of games this season. Um, it makes you want to go every single week, and there are some weeks that I physically can't, but I'll be sat there with notifications of goals on. I wasn't at the game on Saturday, but oh my God, my heart was absolutely in my mouth. Like you're 3-0 up, and you think, oh, we're cruising, back to 3-2, and then in the second half, you go in. I think was it 3-2 up at half time, and then I think didn't Sutton equalise like twice, and it got ruled out, and my phone was vibrating. It come up 3-all, goal disallowed. I don't think I can remember, at least in my time of supporting Swindon Town, which is about 15 years or 15 seasons, I can't think of a start of a season that's been as entertaining as this.
But when you had that, it was 5-3. Both teams had 2 goals disallowed for offside, and both teams had stonewall penalties not given. That game could have been 9-8, 9-7,
I think
whatever. It was just absolutely crazy.
any one of our game mate could have been 9-8. It's just, although I said the gaffer says we're not playing kamikaze football, or at least he doesn't want to play kamikaze football. If I know a lot of people say, look, we don't. I paraphrase this, we don't mind if we don't get promoted if we play entertaining football. I think a lot of people would rather go to watch a game of football that entertains rather than playing if you go back 5-10 years, standard League Two kick it, head it football. But it's just I can't, as I said, I can't remember a more entertaining Swindon Town team. I mean Malcolm, am I right in saying that? I mean you've obviously got a few badges more than I have, but it seems sort of alien to me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean we've had some good seasons. Don't get me wrong, but I think this one is the start to it with all the goals and goals against. It's been, I would say, one of the best. I mean, you got the promotion season. You can pick out all the promotion seasons, things like that. But yeah, for entertainment, I think for the first 6 games, it's got to be up there. I think from what I can remember, to be fair.
I would say, actually, of my Swindon supporting career, my favourite season would probably be, I think, was it the 95-96 one under Steve McMahon when we went up as champions after the double relegation. But already this season is looking like, that's going to be even more exciting than that one.
Absolutely. I mean, Charlie, were you at the game on Saturday, mate?
Yeah, I was.
What was it from your end? I mean, was it fun to watch, or was it sort of you watching peeking through your fingers a bit like Daz?
At moments, my heart was racing, thinking we're going to mess this up.
I think that's the Swindon Town disease you've got there, mate. There's something in you. There's a seed of doubt every single time that Swindon Town kick a football that you think, we're in a good position here, but things are going to go wrong. I think back to the Sheffield United playoff game. I watched it with my granddad, and I think it was after Sheffield United's 4th goal. He turned around at me and he looked at me and he said, "You know what's happening here, don't you?" And I think it's stuck with me forever, and I think it's probably ingrained in a lot of Swindon fans.
Look, Joe, can I just remind everyone that I predicted an 8-3 score prediction last week. Everyone laughed.
Yeah, and you were wrong.
I was wrong. I wasn't far away, and I did put a bet on to. I accidentally done it to score over 8 goals instead of score 8 goals. So I missed out on a load of money, but I wasn't far off 8-3, and look, I'm going sort of. I'll save it for the end, but we've touched on it in the show. This season this team can guarantee goals, whether it's at our end or the other end. That there's plenty of them, and to be the top scoring team in the Football League with a game in hand and one of our games being a 0-0 draw, it's something stupid, and we're definitely we're sport for choice for goals, and goal of the season is going to be a pick through many
They're going to
goals.
have a few trophies, I think.
Yeah.
You need to have a word with Darren about your betting skills, because he actually predicted the 6-0 v Crawley somehow at 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know how that's happening. We obviously had the other town fan on his 60th birthday doing that as well. I think we need to get some lottery numbers, lottery picks out of these boys.
Yeah, the thing is, the odds are going like down and down every game for the amount of goals scored. It's probably like 2 to 1 to score eight goals in one game now.
Yeah, well, as long as that stays that way, mate, we're doing something right at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Both teams to score nailed on every week.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we've seen a clean sheet or two in recent weeks. Defensive reinforcements, question mark. Maybe that'll change. Maybe it will be, Swindon Town over 5.5 goals nailed on every week. Hopefully. Speaking of goals, there was a second game at the county ground this weekend. So the ladies team, Swindon Town Women's Football Club, 4-2 winners in the cup against Wimbledon. I didn't get to go to the game personally, but I managed to catch the second half on the YouTube stream. I think that's a fantastic idea from the football club. If they can do that for the women's team, it'll boom the exposure they get, and it allows people that goes to the game, they can't go to the game, an opportunity to watch it from home. Did any of you boys or Colin, did you watch the game, or Chris? Anyone catch the second half?
I did. I watched the game. I started to watch it on TikTok, but something weird. No,
Twitch. Showing your age there. That was a bad.
I started to watch it on there, but they lost the feed for a bit. But then once they let us know it went onto YouTube, I watched it there and enjoyed it. And Lanes, how good was Lanes?
You can't put me live on air to try and give Lanes a bit of encouragement or praise, because that's not what I do on this show. But she is an official Tom Broadbent Lounge athlete. I'll be nice. She was pretty good, wasn't she? I mean, 4 assists. It's not bad.
And 4 really good assists at that. I can't remember what goal it was now, but one of them where she was on the town end and crossed in, fed it through about 3 players, little through ball. Look, it's class. It's proper. It's skill that I can't get my head around. It's like a proper decent assist that a lot of the men's side could not even do as well. And I think this season's women's side has got some really, really decent players in, and hopefully the numbers boost up, because there's quality football being played there. And hopefully with it now being streamed, like you said, Joe, it can boost the exposure to show that the quality football players in this side. I mean, look, Lanes, obviously, Annie Colston. There's plenty of really, really good players that definitely need the exposure, and boost another part of Swindon Town Football Club.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 goals as well for Annie Colston, 2 goals for Ellie Stricknell as well. Like, those 3, they had a man of the match poll, didn't they? And I'll say it through sort of gritted teeth. I did vote for Lanes. I don't like saying it, but she deserved it. And I think it's really important that we really do continue to get behind the women's team. They're wearing the shirt. They've got the Swindon Town badge on their chest. They're Swindon Town at the end of the day. And we had Annie on the show last week, and that was fantastic listening. Come up against a team this week in AFC Wimbledon that hadn't lost in over a year. So they've gone out there on the county ground pitch, and just dismantled them. And that really does tell you that the group we've got at the minute this season, not only the men's team looking good, but the women's team are looking very good as well.
I think another thing to mention about that game as well, Joe, is with that player of the match poll, the other player who was nominated there was Holly Randall, who I believe is only 16.
Yep.
So the fact that you've got a player that young excelling at that level is also something that's good going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's clear to see that the standards are being sort of driven up, and if the game on the weekend, it was definitely, you could see the improvement in terms of football compared to sort of the last couple seasons, and it impresses me more and more every game that I watched it. Like I'm not gonna lie. 2-3 seasons ago, I hadn't watched any of women's football, and now I'm proper invested in it, and I think there's um, some quality players in that side.
That's what it's all about, mate. I think there's a lot of exposure about it nowadays. I don't think we got that a couple of years ago. Obviously, Clem coming into the club and making sure that the women's team came under the same umbrella as the men, it was a really important step. Chris mentioned there about sort of youth team players or young players coming through and playing for the first team. Now, in the gaffer, Mike Cook, obviously he's had roles in the FA and the Wiltshire FA, sort of developing young players and working through academy coaching. You've got players like Sky Hull. You've got Holly Randall as well. Like, these young girls are being given an opportunity at what is essentially the highest standard of football in Wiltshire to play. And look, they're blossoming. Malcolm, hand up there, mate.
I just wanted to say the ladies team, the Swindon Town women's team, are playing at the County Ground again on Sunday. So what a perfect opportunity to get down there and give them a watch. I'm definitely going, because I couldn't make it last Sunday, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be there this Sunday. So if you're not doing anything else, get on down there and give them some support.
Absolutely. Second that over here. Charlie, again, hand up, buddy.
I just wanted to say the fact that they managed to beat a team who hasn't been beaten in over a year just says it all, and how well they've been doing this season is a lot better than recent seasons.
Mate, the Swindon Town exciting attacking football bug. It's contagious.
No, it's also a real tough league to get out of. It's only 2 teams, am I right, that go up?
I don't know for
or is it
sure.
one?
I think it might only be one.
Yeah, so you've got to be a real decent side to go up, and I believe the step up is fairly big as well.
Yeah.
So I know they've obviously just had the draw for the next round in the cup, and they've sort of been sort of drew a short straw there, but yeah, like I said earlier, I've been really impressed so far this season, and I'm in Mallorca at the minute, so I can't get to the game on Sunday. So hopefully it's being streamed. I don't know if it
I would
is,
but...
imagine
it probably will be streamed. I don't know for sure, but
yeah,
as you say there as well, tough draw away in the cup, away at Rugby Borough. So it's a long trip for the girls. Obviously, I believe they're a step above as well, which is going to be a test for them. But at the end of the day, they're wearing the Swindon Town badge on their chest, mate, and that means goals. That means wins.
Absolutely, and yeah, we've got plenty of goals in all departments, in the men's team, women's team, the academy as well. The goals are going in. It's an exciting season.
The thing is with a tough draw as well, is it also gives you that chance to see how you actually match up at that level, to know what you've got to do to get to that next level.
Absolutely. Malcolm?
Just an observation. I just want to say how nice that the women's blue kit is with the badge in the centre. I think it's really nice. And I'm
I said that
where
as
can
well.
we get that?
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, I said that. I was chatting to Annie Colson about that a couple of weeks ago, and she wasn't a fan. I know, controversial. I thought it was a nice kit. I thought it was a nice kit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed if that was the men's team away kit.
Ellis, calm yourself down, mate. Our away kit is absolutely set.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think I wouldn't pick it over our away kit that we've got now, but if that's what we were given, I would not be disappointed at all.
I do love a blue away kit. I love that the blue away kit we had. Was it in the promotion season under
It was
Wellens?
the League One one, wasn't it? The year after.
Yeah. All right, yeah, but I love that kit. I just love a blue
Yeah,
kit.
I mean, that kit was absolutely lovely, but I had it in a medium and it was through lockdown. I'm not going to lie, I had a few beers through lockdown and that shirt didn't quite fit come the end of the season.
A few beers through lockdown, Joe. I think we know you that lockdown wasn't what you're restricted to with a few beers.
Well, it is what it is, mate. We're all going through it together, I'm sure. Let's move on quickly. I'm aware of the time, guys. Don't want to keep you all for the evening. We've got a game on Saturday at the county ground against a team that doesn't quite know how to fill their own stadium, I'm told. Now,
Ooh.
this coming Saturday, Swindon Town are back at home for the visit of Michael Flynn's former side Walsall. Currently ninth in the League Two table, 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats coming from the first 7 games. Coming off the back of a 2-1 win away at Salford, who were much fancied at the start of the season. Chris, is this a test for us? I'm not too sure where I stand on it.
Well, to start with as well, a former Swindon loanee, was it loanee or did he have it? But Chris Hussey, who did play for us,
Yeah, it's permanent, wasn't he, for a season?
Retired today. Yeah, he's retired today, so he won't be playing.
He used to be a bit of a nuisance against us too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a Stockport, I think, last year.
Yeah, I think I saw that the tweet from Walsall earlier on. I also saw that a lot of Walsall fans weren't very happy because it leaves them a little bit short in defence. Now, coming away to Swindon with, in their own words, a pretty light defence, that's not a great place to be for an away team, is it?
No, it's not. But I did also see a few of their fans talking about them perhaps flipping system to a 4 rather than a 3 or a 5, however you want to see that sort of system. But I expect Walsall are going to be, on paper, a better team than Sutton were, and Sutton did cause us some problems.
Yeah.
I think we sort of know we're very good going forward, and we've got a little bit more work to do defensively. But I'd be disappointed if we didn't end up with 3 points here. I think we're probably a better team than Walsall, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 win.
Yeah, well, Chris, for me, I think bar Wrexham, I think this is our sort of second biggest challenge so far in the league. But I don't think they're going to cause us many issues. I think we're the better side. We can certainly score goals, so that's not an issue. It's obviously just our defence, and we've obviously been conceding a few goals at the back. So if we can keep tight, if we can sort of hold on at least till half time, I think we'll be in a decent position. Like I said, we can score goals, so we know that's not an issue for us. I can see him scoring a couple against us. I think it's going to be 5-2. 5-2 is my prediction.
5-2.
My biggest concern with this team is set pieces, and I think we don't really look threatening off them, and I think more than anything that's down to a lack of height, of big physical players, and the same's going the other way.
Watch this space.
Yeah, the thing is, in terms of on your point on we're lacking in height, I don't feel at times it really hinders us at times, because if you look at the likes of Blake Tracy, Brewitt, Austin, Young,
Godwin Leach gets up. He gets up big time.
Yeah,
he's not a big lad.
Exactly. All these players win headers and win their battles in the air. Even against Forest Green, some of their players are massive. Like, some of their players should be basketball players. It was mental, and we were winning headers against them. It's not always necessarily about height. It's about positioning. It's about timing, and Charlie Austin's a prime example. I mean, he's not the shortest, but he's also not the tallest. But he's got the timing and he's got the experience of, knowing when the ball is gonna come to him and when to jump for the header. So yeah, height plays a difference, but experience and in stuff like that definitely helps you in terms of winning balls in the air.
Yeah, I just think though, certainly from the games I've seen this season, is we've had quite a few when we've slung free kicks in, corners in. We haven't really looked threatening, and for a team that's got so many goals to have not really much of a set pieces, if we had that as well, God, we would be averaging 6 goals a game.
I think my favourite word that a Swindonian can say might have changed. Ellis, can you say basketball again for me, please?
Oh no, I don't know how I say it. Basketball.
Oh, mate, I love the Swindon accent. God bless Wiltshire. Malcolm, are you confident going into the game on Saturday?
Yeah. I did a bit of moonlighting this, earlier on a fans channel for Walsall. I did say 2-1, but I think wherever they score, we'll score more. So 3. I'll go for 3-1 now. I've changed my mind, but yeah,
it's got Billy Big Bollocks on our one.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be yeah, like I said, it will be a tough test. I say this every week. I said something we're gonna be, but and they were, but we're just full of confidence and just take on anyone now. Just let's have it. Bring them all on.
I like.
It'll be a completely different test to what Sutton was though, because we knew what we were going to get with Sutton. Yeah. Because basically, you're not allowed to play for Sutton unless you're at minimum of 6'5".
And just kicking it up in the air. I was watching it from sunny Blackpool and had a bit of a crowd around me at one point because I was screaming so much. But yeah, I was gutted I couldn't be there. But yeah, I'm back Saturday, and we'll. And I was pleased to say after my little rant last week about the crowd, I heard some good signs, some good news about the the way they were all shouting and screaming, getting behind the team. So. It probably wasn't anything to do with me, but that sounded good that they got behind the team.
Mal, it was definitely you. It was definitely
take that, but yeah,
your message. And I've got to say, Mal, on that point, the town end was absolutely rocking it. It was the best it's been all season. It wasn't a massive crowd in terms of like 10,000 and whatnot, but I think it was about 8,300, about that, I think. But yeah, it was the best atmosphere so far this season, and I think the results are already going, but as the season goes on, I think that number is going to increase, and the atmosphere is only going to get better as well.
That's it, mate. Let's keep the atmosphere that's like intense. The county ground is becoming a fortress. Let's make sure it's a fortress. Let's get our troops in the seats.
And also, if Malcolm was in Blackpool, then he has an identical twin, I believe.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. It's not going to happen very many times, mate. I'm telling you, I'm back now, so I'll do it properly this time.
Daz, let's round off a couple of more predictions from the panel before we jump off air. Are you going to be pessimistic, or are you part of the converted now?
I'm always pessimistic. I'm a lot older than you guys.
Don't we know it? Don't we know it?
2-2.
2-2. Tell you what, for you, that's not that bad.
I said 3-1 last week, which was closer than Ellis. I know he was banging on 8-3. He got the 3 right, but the goal spread was absolutely spot on. 2 goals. 3-1, 5-3. It's 2 goal spread. I was closer than Ellis, so 2-2. I'm sorry, it's 2-2.
Okay, we'll accept it for tonight. We'll accept it for tonight. Charlie, what are your thoughts, buddy?
It's going to be a hard test, but I reckon we'll score. As you know, we've scored more than every other team, so I'm going 3-2.
We'll take that. I think we've all been saying here as well that there's a sort of a belief at the football club that no matter what the opposition can score, we'll score one more than that. There's a segment from, I think it's Sir Alex Ferguson's first autobiography. If they score 9 boys, we'll score 10. And that is genuinely how it feels in the minute at the football club.
And yeah, I feel like that's exactly how it's been at the moment.
Well,
Joe, if you would have told me last season under Scott Lindsay and Jody Morris that we would be expecting to score 5 goals in a game, I would not have believed you, because at times last season the football was so dull and it looked like we just couldn't score. And now I don't know what Flynn's done, but it's just the fact that we expect to score that many goals. I'm loving life.
aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all? Carly, are you on the thrashing train, or are you on a Daz let's be cautious train?
It's really difficult, isn't it? Because the Swindon Town supporters within ourselves are telling us we're unbeaten. That's got to come to an end. Is it going to be this game? Are we going to get the thumping that everyone keeps telling us that we're going to get? But I'm well on board at the moment. Absolutely haven't missed an away game. Loving it, and I think we're going to win 4-2, and I think we'll get well over 10,000 there on Saturday.
Yes,
That
Carly.
is what we want to hear. I tell you what, you mentioned the unbeaten streak there as well. We've not spoken about the unbeaten streak at the minute. I will say live on air right now, if we go unbeaten for the entire season and get promotion, I will get a tattoo.
Yes.
I'll join you.
Can you get my poem to Jake Young tattooed onto your bum?
Oh, that's quite a big. That's like a sleeve, mate.
It
I
doesn't have to
reckon
be
I could
big.
fit 3
Small print.
verses on mine.
I might best get on my back.
If we go unbeaten, Joe, I'm picking the tattoo.
Well, we'll get team tattoos then if we go unbeaten.
Whoa, hold it. Hold up, I haven't agreed to
Well,
this.
you just have. You have to do it, mate. It's just the way.
Okay.
On that
Majority
on
vote.
that note, I will. I'll sort of give you my 2 pence. Look, it's, as the boys have said there, I think it's going to be it's a tough test. It's probably one of the toughest tests we've had since Wrexham. But this team, the confidence you hear from Jake Young a couple of weeks ago, the way he was speaking about the sort of the togetherness in the group and the mentality that there is no one in this league that they fear. You felt the same tonight from Dan Kemp. I think it's such a positive group. I think the gaffer's got them all completely zoned in on their own targets and their own game plan that it doesn't matter who they come up against. I think we'll see a cup run as well. You know, you play a team from League One, Championship, Premier League. We're past 9 o'clock. I don't think they give a shit. I think genuinely, I think they look at a game and go, right, how do we win this? Where are the qualities in our team that we can play to make sure that we get the best out of ourselves? And that makes me just supremely confident going into every game. So I'm going to go 3-0. Genuinely, I don't. There's no one in this league that I fear. It is what it is. I think it's going to be a fun year. Charlie, do you want to throw in a little piece there?
As you said, they don't fear anyone, and I feel like I'm very confused how Flynn has managed to go from like most of the same players last season, who we weren't doing that well, to being the team that scored the most goals in the whole of England and one of the best attacks.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling.
Mate, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Take a breath before we go into Catting Ground every Saturday and think, yeah, the old ticker, just take a batter in here. I think we're all joining you. It's exhilarating stuff. It's not good for your health, but it is what it is. It's Swindon Town Football Club, and it's fun.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? We all keep stressing about January. But again, we've still got plenty of time before then. We can't keep going on about it week in, week out. We will get beat at some point, I'm sure, but we're not at the moment, and it's brilliant. So let's just enjoy it. Let's put all of the bad memories of the last 2 seasons behind us, and it's great. It's fun. It's what we've wanted. So,
Carly, at this rate, we're going to win the league in January, so it's not an issue.
Exactly. It might not even be a problem by then.
We're going to win. We're winning the lot.
I think
we're on pace for 153 goals.
153. What's the record?
Oh my
God!
God!
Record?
It would be a record if we got 153.
I think the current record is 99. So
Okay. I mean,
Let's go for
let's go for
100.
100 at least, shall we?
Yeah, we did have 100 goal once, but it was at the other end.
Brilliant.
It was against us in the Premier League, Chris. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Well,
We held that record for far too long.
well, let's not dwell. Let's not end on a sad note, shall we? Let's end on a, we've spent the entirety of last season asking for entertaining football as a fan base on the show. Every week we come on, we try and pick out the best parts of an ultimately dull game or a game that just didn't quite have that edge from a Swindon Town side that maybe didn't have the required quality in some areas or didn't quite click last season. This season, believe me, it has clicked big time. And just enjoy it for what it is. It's fun. It's fun to go to the county round in a minute. That's what you're paying your money for. You're enjoying yourself. You're seeing football that's, as I said at the start of the show, it's swashbuckling. It's goal frenzied. It might take a few days of your life watching it, but those days weren't so great anyway, I suppose. On that note, I will remind you all that we are the Tom Broadbent Lounge. We're an independent X space. We are not affiliated with either Swindon Town Football Club nor Sir Tom Broadbent himself. Thank you once again to my lovely panel for coming on the show this evening. Thank you to our fantastic listeners for listening in. Now, I will end usually with a come on you Reds, but I'll end with a come on you Reds, and let's just enjoy it. See you next week.